I know I've been promising y'all this. Figured it was a good time to finally give it to you. So I purchased a little Bideli roaster here. I don't know, probably like May of last year, April. Didn't get in until July of last year. So I've had the roaster about 6 months. Been roasting pretty hard on it for about 3 months now. Every week, a few batches a week. Probably up to about 50 now. So this is actually some coffee I roasted in a little Bideli. Yeah, it's good. Been getting some good feedback from it. So I'm happy with it. Very satisfied with it. I want to roll through four things real quick to kind of ease your mind on buying from Bideli. How to do it, how long it takes, the price of it, purchasing, delivery, some of the specs that ain't quite clear until I got it. I want to give you those, and then the price breakdown, how it's kind of broken down, duty fees and all this, that, and the other, and then also the customer support. For the purchasing and delivery, it took right at 2 to 3 months to get here. I'm going to say probably like 2.5 to be exact. I purchased through Alibaba, which I'll go into during the pricing, kind of explain why I would do that. They have the trade assurance program, and it's just the way to go. If you're like me and you never purchased anything from overseas, it's your first time dealing with it, let Alibaba handle it. Also, you're probably going to need a fork truck or something to take it off the truck. So if you don't have that, I remember the trucking company calling me and asking if I had forklift capability. I told them I did, but I'm sure if you don't, they'll probably have a pallet jack or some elevator type thing they can make get it down. You'll have to talk to the trucking company whenever it gets to you. Specs for the roaster. So the roaster will hover over a range. You can't just set it at 440 degrees and it just stay exactly at 440. It's not that precise. It will kind of go above 440, turn off, go up to about 450, start coming back down. Once it hits 440, it clicks. Then it goes back down to about 435, comes on, comes back up, hits. So it's a range more of the hover. Makes sense? Yeah. Also, if you're in the United States and any other country that's 110 volt, you'll need a 220 to 110 converter. I didn't realize that at the time, so when I hooked everything up, half the machine was working. And I was like, what in the hell is going on with this? So I emailed Agnes and I was like, Agnes, half machine's working. She explained something. I didn't quite get it at the time, but then I realized she was basically saying I needed a converter, 220 to 110. Got that, boom, that worked, fixed it right off the bat. So that being said, I had to order that off Amazon, which I'll link that below and you can check it out. Get that one, get another one. I've been pretty happy with it. Also hooking up Artisan, not going to go into that too much here, but if you get the options with the USB cable, definitely will work. And USB cables do come with the machine if you get that option. So if you get the USB port option, it will also have cables that come with it. I got the propane option, so really that's about all I can kind of explain. If you have any questions on the propane one, I didn't get the LPG, so the price breakdown is pretty simple. I'm going to try to explain it where it makes sense. It's not just numbers. I'm going to give you the 2 kilograms first, and then I'm going to give you the 3 kilograms. So real quick, the 2 kilogram machine, what was quoted to me was $3,820 for the machine. That's for the black and gold and the 2 options that I chose, which was the USB and the speed control. The DDU cost is the door-to-door, basically delivery cost. So with the DDU cost, the supplier, Bideli, is responsible for all charges getting your roaster to you. So you're basically paying them to go through all the imports and duties and setting up trucks and setting up shipping and all that. They're handling all that. If you want to skip out on paying the $1,360 and do all that yourself, have at it. Save you $1,360. That's what was quoted to me shipping to Louisiana in the United States. And then there's a duty fee that's 4% of the cost of the roaster. So it's 4% of $3,820, not the cost of the roaster plus the DDU cost. The 3 kilogram machine was $4,770. The DDU cost on that was $1,410. And then the duty fee was $191, 4% of the cost of the roaster. So, all in all, to do it the way I did it, for the 2 kilogram machine, it will cost you $5,343 to get it to your house if you live in Louisiana. So if you live on the West Coast, maybe a little cheaper. If you live on the East Coast, could be a little bit more expensive. If you live in another country, you just kind of weigh the options of what that fee is going to be to you. For the 3 kilogram machine, it was quoted at $6,370 to get it to me with the options I chose. The trade assurance program, basically, so like you put a 30% deposit down, Bideli gets that. The rest of the money goes to Alibaba. Alibaba plays the broker. So whenever the goods are finally delivered to you, 2, 3, 4 months later, depending on where you're getting it delivered to. You go into Alibaba platform, and basically at that point you'll say, I confirm I received my roaster, checked it out, everything's good. At that point, Alibaba will go ahead and pay Bideli. So it gives you that security that, you know, Bideli's not getting paid before you get your product, because Alibaba's holding on to the money. So kind of gives you that assurance that everything's kind of safe and fair and nobody's getting screwed in the deal. As far as customer support, I wasn't too much worried about customer support. We have a little machine shop. I'm willing to fix anything that breaks on it. If you're looking for something that you can have customer support on, I know Buckeye Roaster sells these exact same roasters for a little more, and I'm sure they have all the parts. I'm sure they actually have a manual that comes that tells you how to use the machine. You will not get hardly any of that with Bideli. A lot of it is in Chinese when you get it. There was really not a whole lot telling you how to do anything. Or, I mean, it's pretty much get on YouTube and figure it out if you buy it from them. So I'm sure Buckeye would probably be a little bit better as far as contacting, you know, helping you out, answering any questions, stuff like that. You can actually call them and stuff. The other thing too I will say about the roaster, in the beginning I was putting small batches in there, maybe a few hundred grams. I would advise against that. And I would also advise on these machines to stick to a certain poundage each time. 3.5, 4 pounds. I do 4 pounds every time. So every time I roast my Peru, it's 4 pounds of it. Every time I roast my Burundi, it's 4 pounds of it. That's helped me get way more consistent and learn my machine a lot better. It can roast, you know, 400 or 500 grams of coffee, but it's really hard to control the machine at those small levels because it heats up super quick. It's doable. You just have to learn, and it's going to take a lot of practice. You're going to burn through a crap ton of beans if you're wanting to roast super small batches like that. I'm not saying it's impossible, and there's probably people out there that can do it right off the bat because y'all been roasting a long time. This is my first machine. This is some of the first roasting I've done, so that's why I've been roasting about 4 pounds. It's consistent at that point. In Artisan, I can pretty much hit profiles a little better if I'm doing that. I got a lot to learn. I'm the new guy, so yeah, y'all cut me a little slack on that, you know what I mean? As far as the machine goes, I think it's a great learning machine. Obviously, it's probably not going to be as good as one of the Lorings or Probats, but I mean, you're getting what you pay for, you know. I'm not paying $40,000 for a 2 kilogram machine either. So with that being said, really like it. Feedback that I've had on the coffee is great. I've really been able to cut my teeth on this roaster. I haven't really had any issues with it as of yet, so works like it's supposed to, hooks up to Artisan, haven't had any issues with that. Really the only issues I've had roasting is all, you know, personal issues. You know, I didn't shut the door, or I let the airflow up too much, or this, that, and the other. Other than that, it's really about it. If y'all have any other questions, hit me up in the comments. That being said, we're gonna blow out the old candle and call her a night, because I gotta go to my day job.